97.1. If you missed the first hour of the show, calling all grill masters, Rico got some advice, some necessary advice, ready to take his game to the next level. Happy Friday. We got deal breakers coming up in a half hour or so. We've got Who Said It at 4 o'clock, a Friday staple.
Cookies, when you going to join the train, man? When you going to get a smoker?
Oh, I don't think I'm far enough advanced for that yet. You gave me the starter grill. I got to work through the kinks on the propane this summer.
You could join Roberto and just become drunk dad on the grill.
Oh, there you go.
Just try not to burn yourself.
Listen, after the dog bite story earlier this week, I wouldn't be surprised if Roberto has had some grill accidents, some misfortune.
Roberto, didn't you set yourself on fire?
Did I?
Yeah. I thought you had like some funny grilling story that you did.
Well, I've done the thing before where I use the igniter and then like it really flames up on you. I probably singed my eyebrows a couple times.
Oh, I know it was something like I think Roberto set himself on fire.
No, not completely.
Listen, it's important to
He
have
was shooting a Pepsi commercial.
It's important to have a Roberto in your life because then I can go, at least I'm not that bad.
That's
I'm not
exactly
that
what
guy.
you do, yeah.
It's important.
You know what? It really is.
Rico, you said something to me, and I think this is an interesting conversation. The idea, like, are we hypocrites? Are we hypocrites when it comes to the excitement around our team versus the excitement around our rivals or just someone we don't root for? So great example is Dan Campbell since he's taken over in Detroit. He has been incredibly outspoken. I think he's easy to root for. But if you're a skeptic, this is going to be material for his downfall. When Jim Harbaugh, early at Michigan, was making headlines but not winning big games, he was under fire. Mel Tucker still hasn't won a Big Ten title, but coming off an 11-win season, he's coining an NFT. He is Tuck coming, deep water. He's got his own version of that too. And it's a good question by you. Are we all willing to own up to the fact that we mock our rivals when they do something like this, but we eat it up when it's our team?
Yeah.
Because you're not doing what you would have done with Harbaugh or Campbell with Tucker. And I think Michigan fans would play the same card the other way. They're going, well, why aren't you more critical of Tucker? Right?
It is. I mean, I didn't realize how much outrage until I got home and just started looking at things and just, look at this. He's all about show me this and show me that. And that's when you realize the hypocrisy that is sports fans.
Being a fan, yeah.
Because Tucker's all about him, and he's got an NFT, and he's got cars up on the football field. And then you look at the people like, wait, did you just say that with a straight face? Your coach was in a music video.
Who's got it better than us?
Right. Like your players had a Lamborghini in their practice beforehand, and your coach was all about, scaling trees and sleepovers. So, yeah, it goes both ways. Like we talked about, what if you could buy tickets to the game at Costco's? And yeah, if it were Michigan tickets at Costco's, I would probably snicker and be like, wow, this is what you got to do. If it were Michigan State, you'd probably, you know what? That's actually ingenious and that's cutting edge. See, you guys don't realize.
What you don't understand.
See, that's next level right there. But see, you're so stuck in your antiquated ways. When it's your school, you make up the reasons, you make up excuses.
So will people own up to that? Being a hypocrite when it comes to the hype machine around your coach, your team, your program. And I do want to know, when does it become overboard? Because the obvious response here is gotta win, right? You have to win or it gets ugly. When Harbaugh didn't win a Big Ten title till year 7, it got very ugly. If Dan Campbell doesn't win in Detroit, the songs Roberto is going to be able to make, and he's going to be the butt of every single joke. Same deal with Mel. So I want to know where the cutoff is. When you look at Mel Tucker, when you look at Dan Campbell, I mean, they've run the gamut already. But, where is the cutoff for Campbell and Tucker in your mind before it reaches where it got with Jim Harbaugh? How long do you get? If you're Dan Campbell this season, to avoid ridicule, what do they have to do? If you're Mel Tucker, to avoid ridicule the next couple seasons, what do you have to do? It's okay to promote your brand. It's okay to be out there, capitalize on social media. The whole, you got to win, though, when does that enter the equation?
I think it's you got to win and who you have to beat.
Okay.
I think for Tucker, you can't have losing seasons. That's a given.
Period.
Okay, that let's just set that aside.
No 3-9s. Never again.
3-9. You're allowed a 3-9 year if it's one of those years where everybody just got hurt and you're on your fourth string QB.
But it's got to be an anomaly then.
An anomaly. You got to turn around and flip that thing. For Mel Tucker, I think you probably need to beat Ohio State at some point within the next 3 years. You got to beat the Buckeyes, okay? Because you don't get to Indianapolis unless you defeat the Buckeyes. And you got to get to Indy or wherever the Big Ten title game is going to be in future years.
So that's 5 years for Tucker, right? Because 2 years plus 3, 5 years to win a Big Ten title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big Ten title. Now, what has helped him, you've beaten Michigan twice. What has helped him now, you got a New Year's Six bowl game victory in your trophy case. So that's going along. So now you get – it's like the more you do, we can add extra time on. Like when you're playing video games, okay, we'll add extra time on to this. Or the home run derby. You do this a certain amount of time, we'll tack on an extra 30 seconds.
Like I think winning 11 games in year 2 and going 2-0 against Michigan buys Tucker a little more. Like if they were coming off a 6-6 season and you're coining NFTs,
you can't do that after 2020. Now, here's why I also give him credit. I would not have done this, but it was a calculated risk. Mel Tucker told everybody who listened, no. 2020, that's on me. Put that on my record. Don't excuse me. Don't just say, oh, well, you went 2-5, but it was COVID. No, he owned it. He owned every loss because we were like, Mel, we're willing to give you the pass. He didn't want that. He followed that up with this year. So, yeah, now he's on year 3. For Campbell, here's the thing.
How do you answer this?
You got to do something that hasn't been done since Caldwell. You got to get to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. The bar is low here, okay? Get to the playoffs, you're successful.
How long? By the end of next season? Within your first 3 years, you should be a playoff team. They've added extra playoff spots since Caldwell was the coach.
Here's what I'll do.
You have to have your quarterback situation settled by the end of year 3.
Because Lions people think I'm this hater. Yeah. I'll give you this. If by year 3, you're in the final week of the season and you're mathematically allowed to, you still have a shot for the playoffs. And I'm not talking about 35 things have to happen mathematically. I'm talking about, okay, if you win, you're in, but if you lose and this team loses as well, you're in. That type of thing. If you get to the final week, and then that means that you've built something. You went from the 3 wins to now now the following season, you have to make the playoffs. So year 4, you would have to make the playoff.
Look at you. You're very generous. David shaking his head.
This is the NFL. He has to make it next season. 2023, he has to make the playoffs.
See, but David,
to avoid ridicule. I'm not saying lose the job. These are two different things. These are two different things.
I don't think you would get ridicule because the Lions were bad. And it's kind of like whoever takes over for the Tigers next. Everybody knows they're bad.
Right.
So fans, they're called fans for a reason. We put unrealistic expectations. Like I said, this is the whole purpose of this thing. We're hypocritical.
Right.
We say one thing, but then we want something else. And every Lion fan will say, well, I want all of this stuff. But then when some other fan base talks to you, well, we're rebuilding and we're this. Realistically speaking, by year 3, knowing how bad this thing was, if next season they're in that final week and they have a mathematical shot at the playoffs, I think you can't criticize him, but you got to follow that up and show that you're actually trajecting forward and not backwards.
Or you have to do, like you said, find some bonuses, some things that give you a little more rope, a little more leash.
And here's the other one.
Like, let's say you go 5-1 in the division or something. Like, you have to show things along the way. Like last year for them, year 1, very little to work with. The Cardinal game. That was a beat down of a playoff team. That was like what it's supposed to look like. Okay, what's a Dan Campbell football team ideally going to look like when it all is humming? You at least saw it one time last year. It's got to be more consistent. You have to be, I would say year 3, you have to be a playoff team. Because by year 3, you've decided your quarterback. I don't think Goff's the guy. Some people think he's the guy. If he plays well this year and they commit to him and he's the QB in year 3, that's your quarterback. You'll know who your quarterback is at the end of this season. And then year 3 becomes show us.
Well, I got another one for you.
What?
I think your boy, Harbaugh,
Yeah?
you got to repeat your success in the next 2 years to show it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't an anomaly.
And people get really offended when you throw around the F word. Like last year can be a standalone, successful, magical season. The memories happened. Your joy was legitimate. You can have it for the rest of your life.
Right.
But if they don't ever do it again, then it is a fluke.
You have to show me that you're not Iowa State. You're not that team that just rises up, has a great year, and then we never hear from them again. And I don't think that that's unfair to say that Harbaugh has to make it back to Indianapolis in the next 2 years because you've shown us you can do this. Mm-hmm. You've shown us you can beat Ohio State. So now, bring it back. I'm not saying you got to do it this year.
No. It's still the goal every year for Michigan.
You got the quarterbacks to do it. In college football, it's a quarterback-driven league. You got the quarterbacks right now. You got 2 years. So, yeah, for him, his clock may be going a little bit faster, but because he's had more success than the other two. He's got 2. I said Tucker has 3, and I give Campbell, because it's the NFL, you probably got 3 years to do something.
See, I feel like people are maybe I'm wrong, more impatient with the NFL. More impatient.
Because in the NFL, you can see how things can flip and go worse.
But then you put that filter like it's Instagram and you slide the Lions filter on and maybe you do get the bonus season out of it. It's interesting. All 3 coaches are personalities. They have these
quirks.
Quirks is a good word for it. And I want to know, are we on board with all of it? Some of it? Are we hypocrites? And how long do you get before it stops being fun and you hit like and share and it turns into ridicule and criticism? 248-539-9797.